Showtime. Today was a day that should have been a taking it easy day for us organisers, as all the hard work was done, but the stress levels were right up there. By 6:30 in the morning we'd put our tent up using the headlights from the Defender. Eventually the sun did put an appearance in, but no warmth at this time of the morning. By 7:30 the coffee had worn off, as more Land-Rovers continued to line up in the respective areas we had laid out the previous day. The idea was to try and get the series vehicles organised in rough date order. Well, that was the idea anyway. Oxford at the start, followed by Land Rover chassis number 20, then Sean Maher's Huey 166, and so on down the line. Series 2s, Series 3s, Defenders, Discoveries, Range Rovers, forward controls and special vehicles such as Camel Trophy and even a military section. Parade time! Rod's instructions were quite clear and straightforward. All line up behind Oxford before 9 AM. Kevin, you're driving Oxford. Queue up in front of gate 1. When they want you to enter, the gates will open. Enter the Highland Arena and turn left and follow the grass line at the centre of the parade grounds and keep going round until all of the Land Rovers have entered the parade grounds. I will be in the commentary box, so I'll be able to see when all the vehicles are coming in. When they're all in, I will contact you, that's me, on the radio, and you turn right onto the centre grass area and park up at the far left, and all of the Land Rovers will line up alongside Oxford.
Saturday and Sunday, it's all on with the whole weekend event, and we've got 15 minutes only for each parade, and there's a new parade every 15 minutes. So we've got 15 minutes to circulate around the parade ground, park up, wave to the public, and then we're off.
Once they're all parked up, I'll call you again on the radio, and they'll open gate 2 opposite you, and you can all file out through there. This is a moving show, so there are parades every 15 minutes throughout the day. So since we're the first ones up, if we, meaning me, stuff this up, it'll shift all the start times out for the rest of the day. Oxford started first time. Good start. The gates open and into the parade grounds I go. And around we go, and around, and around, and around. I could hear the commentary going on, but due to the soundproofing of Oxford, basically nothing, I couldn't hear what was being said. The radio squawks into life. It's Rod. We're out of time. Get out of the parade grounds, quick. At this point I was on the home straight coming up to the entry gate again. There were about 90 Land Rovers driving around the grass square, and I was about 4 lanes deep in the centre, with all of them following me, as more were still filing in through gate 1. Right, indicator on, shift left, right at the point where all the armoured military Land Rovers were moving into the loop and trying to turn left themselves. Little Oxford is doing an Auckland lane merge, and by now heading towards gate 2, with 2 ladies frantically waving yellow flags to get someone's attention to get the hell out of the arena. I glanced in the rear vision mirror and I could see Sean Maher in his little 1949 Series 1 windscreen full of eyeballs, also trying to merge left through the 101 gun tractors as defenders took evasive action to avoid squashing little vintage Series 1s, faithfully following the idiot, me. Rod comes over. That was fantastic! I was looking for a cup of tea and a nice lie down by this stage as the tractors rumbled their way into the arena. Due to the tractors being a bit slower and some stalling and refusing to start, they were still trying to get their act together 30 minutes later. The next parade wasn't until 1 o'clock, so I had a few hours to have a look around the show. I love this shot of the old steam traction engines. It just screams, stand back, my carbon footprint is frickin' huge. In the centre of the Three Parks area, in the shadow of Mount Irons, stands Alone Series 1. Not sure what the story is with it, but it looks like a bit of a mascot for the area. Okay, now this is a serious bloke's toy. This is a 3-ton Chrysler air raid siren from the Cold War. Built between 1952 and 57, it's powered by, get this, a 5.4 litre Hemi V8 engine. These are the loudest air raid sirens in the world. Just for a hoot, excuse the pun, they kicked it in the guts yesterday during setup, then shut it down before it got up to full noise. The sound bouncing off Mount Iron was just amazing. There appeared to be smoke coming out of the hooters, which I understand were actually steam caused by condensation of the compressed air. What a beast! I guess I got some complaints from Queenstown. A great lineup of old stationary engines. These were used to power everything from pumps, milking machines, chaff cutters and even boats. This scrape had some record associated with it due to its size or power. The photograph doesn't do it justice. I could actually walk under the front of it without having to bend over. What impressed me was the recovery hook under its snout. It was bent. You'd have to wonder what you'd have to do to bend a lump of steel like that. Or more to the point, what the hell was bigger than this, that it would be shackled up to a scraper this size, that it could pull it out if it was stuck? All these earth-moving machines are privately owned by collectors and beautifully restored. Many are from the old government projects like the Waimate Power Scheme, and just left to rot before being brought up and brought back to life. Sort of like moving a hole from one end of the yard to the other, I guess. The following is amazing. Folks sitting here all day just watching this continuous parade of heavy metal. The second parade was at 1 PM. Rod. Right, new plan. Enter the parade ground, but only go around twice, then head into the centre and park up. Everyone follow Oxford. Kev, you've got a passenger, Gemma Knott. That's the daughter of Oxford's first overland mechanic, Henry Knott. Cool, got it. Just as we're about to pull off, the radio squawks. Kev, new plan. Drive round and pull over outside the grandstand. The commentator wants to interview Gemma. I jump out of Oxford and run back to Sean Marr, who's pulled up behind me. I lean in the cab and say, new plan. Don't follow me. I have to stop outside the grandstand. They want to interview Gemma. You carry on, but only round twice. Then pull up and park in the centre of the south end. Sean, right, got it. I run back to the next vehicle to tell them to follow Sean and not Oxford, just as Ann Corbett runs over. Rod said you have to stop outside the grandstand. I said, yep, all good, we got it. I get back in Oxford. Gemma, did you catch all that? Catch what? They want to talk to you at the grandstand. Gemma freaks out.
St. Helena.
Oh, Helena, yeah, Helena. And how did it come back from Helena?
A guy called Adam Bennett bought it, I believe, and brought it back and restored it.
It's an absolutely amazing looking thing, isn't it? So do you know, like, has the engine been around the clock a million times, or what's the story?
I can't answer that one, I'm afraid. Kevin might be able to answer that one.
It was on Ascension Island, so unlikely.
Yeah,
everything's within 5 kilometres, yeah.
What's it like to drive?
It's quite heavy in the steering, but yeah, performs very well, yeah, considering its age and where it's been and what it's been up to.
speedster with the marshals in it. American with France. And now we've got Phil driving a tank. He's got his turret girl out the top. The all-wheel drive 8x8 trucks. The little army truck. 6-wheel drive.
Three little words, Sully. 6-wheel drive.
Day 1 of Wheels at Wanaka, very much done and dusted. Time for a beer or 6 to wash the dust down. Let's hope red sky at night really does mean Landy's delight for tomorrow. Another early start at Wheels at Wanaka show. The delight of the red sky at night obviously means something different down south as all hell broke loose last night. Hurricane winds came up, wreaking havoc to our easy up and less substantial tents and display boards. The St John's ambulance tent was found as a crumpled mess high up on the security fencing to the west of the showgrounds, with deformed and crumpled remains of another was spotted tangled up in the tractors. Rod told me he missed a call about 2:30 in the morning when they attempted to call all the committee members down to help secure the site. When I arrived just before 7 AM, Rod was running around tying tents and display boards down as the strong pre-dawn winds started to pick up the dust and sandblast everything, including coating million-dollar supercars with a thick abrasive rock-based dust. Today's first parade went very smoothly. No changes, no interviews. We all filed in, lined up and moved out easily within the 15-minute time frame as a thick dust blew across the grounds.
So you're on top of the world, yeah. Brilliant. I'd love to see that smell of kerosene come out of it one day. 6 years. So the last two that I've taken across, there's only 6 years difference between them. And this is only 6 years.
Well, we've got 3 boy races over here at the moment. Are they aware it's not a race?
I'm not sure that Craig in number 3 does. He's actually driven at least one of those cars on the Paris Peking Rally, and it doesn't take much for him to get that man.
The wind had not backed down by 1 o'clock for our second parade of the day. The only change was to face the eastern side of the arena, so the audience could at least try and see the front of the vehicles through the dust. Air New Zealand had kindly changed my wife's flight home to an earlier time, so I had to cut a track early to Queenstown, so I missed saying goodbye to many of the Land-Rover attendees, but many had already had enough of the sandblasting and had wandered off following the afternoon parade. So that's Wheels at Wanaka over for another 2 years, and the end of my journey with Oxford through New Zealand. So we all just packed up and went straight home. The end. Yeah, right.